Welcome to Legends of Sports. I'm Mr. Nobody, and we got an exciting show for you today. This guy we're doing the show on, he was the #1 box office draw in the whole world for a long time. He was a football player out of Florida, and he was an owner of the Tampa Bay Bandits of the USFL. I'm talking about the one and the only Mr. Burt Reynolds, and I did a film with him. Yeah, check it out. Here we go.
Hold it. We're going this way. Population's having a meeting. Let's go.
Now we're even. Get lost.
Burt Reynolds was a movie star, a #1 box office draw. But before that, he was a stuntman. And even before that, he was a football player. One thing I know about Burt, he's tougher than nails. He's my kind of guy. Burt, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Burt Reynolds. I'm here to talk about football.
Tell us about your football career.
Well, actually, I could tell you about my entire career, and that's how long I was there. It was just, I made a 58-yard run against Auburn my freshman year that is now 120 yards long. I end up in the parking lot and guys are tackling me. But as you get older, everything gets better. When I went to Florida State, it was, I had some scholarships to Miami and North Carolina and different other schools, but Florida State had been a girls' school right up until 1949. And there were 15 girls for every guy, so I thought I could get a hell of an education there. And I did.
How'd you get into being an owner of the Tampa Bay Bandits?
Well, the ownership in the Tampa Bay Bandits came about because of a wonderful guy who was an amazing man. You know, most owners don't have a lot of empathy for the players. Maybe, I think the exception to that rule is Pittsburgh Steelers and the days that Bradshaw played there, for sure. But John was an interesting man in so many different ways. He was an athlete, and he was an owner. And USFL, despite all the jokes about it at that time, if you look at the ball players that came out of that league that made All-Pro, went to the Super Bowl, the guys like Kelly, who I'm sure maybe in the Pro Hall of Fame, and a lot of linebackers too. They would still be playing because basically what it was is the World Football League. I got involved because there was going to be a Florida franchise, and I always, you know, loved football so much, and there is something about being involved with the sport when you get older that you can't play anymore, but at least as an owner, as a participant, and certainly being able to. Steve Spurrier was the coach, and even though I'm not crazy about Steve now, that's not true, but I loved him. He was the perfect pro coach because Steve likes to throw, he likes that fast action, and USFL was so much fun to watch. It was just the perfect, as Orson Welles said about the movie business, it was the greatest director set I ever had.
Burt, what do you miss the most about not playing football?
About not playing? Yeah. I thought that the time would never come where the smell of cut grass wouldn't make me want to play again. But you finally get to it at a certain age where you, especially the noise level now, when I go on the sidelines and I hear them, the pads hitting, maybe it's because you don't have a helmet on, but it seems like it's gone up about 10 decibels. Part of the reason is that I ran the 100 in a uniform, 10-3, and I thought I was cat quick. And I know that there's linemen 6'7", 270 that run that same speed now. That's why I don't miss it.
What advice would you give to a young kid just starting out?
Well, you have to remember that it's wonderful to dream big. You know, you shoot for the stars and maybe you'll make it to the clouds, top of the mountain. But you can't depend on football or basketball or baseball to make a better life for you, because you have to understand that the injury factor, the percentages, and someone has to tell you the percentages, the numbers of guys that play professional football, basketball, and baseball. They're stacked against you. But there's nothing wrong. In fact, I think it's the greatest gift of the world to be a gifted athlete in high school, in junior high school, whatever level. Play the best you can play. And there are lots and lots of colleges where a guy can be 3 seconds slower than everybody else and play, or shorter and play. And there's been a lot of guys, Walter Payton is a perfect example, that came out of a small school and played professional football because nobody was interested in him in college because they thought he was too small. But you can't measure anybody's heart. You can't time anybody's heart. So my advice is you give it 150%, and maybe there is a place for you to play after high school, and maybe there is a place to play after college. But you can't, that isn't a given. It's not a given because you're the star athlete in Pop Warner, the star athlete in junior high school, the star athlete in high school, because wherever you go, there's liable to be somebody a little bit faster, a little bit bigger, a little more intense.
How important is an education?
Your education is everything, and if you look at the really great athletes right down the line, going way back where you read about what they said, basically what they said is either I wished I'd have gotten more of an education, or I'm glad that I got an education, because there is that time when you can't play anymore. And what you have to fall back on, nobody cares how good you were. It's how good are you now. And what can you do for me now? And your education is what you can do now.
Have you ever been hurt?
Yeah, I was hurt a lot, but there's no such thing as not playing hurt. You play hurt. You don't play injured. You don't play with your cartilage torn. And I tried to do that, and I couldn't. I was 2 steps slower than I used to be before, and it was disastrous. But you're going to get hurt. You're always going to get hurt in a game. You have to play hurt. You can't play when you should be operated on, when you should have, and when you do get that operation, some guys can work through it and play again. A lot can't. And if it's the only thing in your life, and you're 18, 19, 20 years old, your life is very, very short. You can't let it be the only thing in your life.
What was the secret to your success?
Well, if I've had any success, it's because I just wouldn't give up. I mean, I'll still be running when lightning hits me. I don't have any intentions of ever giving up. And they'll have to drag me, you know, kicking and screaming from work. Work is, I love work.
Did you have any superstitions when you played?
I'm sorry?
Did you have any superstitions when you played football?
Yeah, I think all athletes well, maybe not all athletes, but everyone that I ever met has a superstition about something. Either the same socks, the same this, the same walk, the same way they walk to the stadium, the same drive to the stadium, the same guys they talked to or didn't talk to, or you know, whatever they ate, they eat again. They won't tell you about it, because if they're that good an athlete, I mean, why would Mickey Mantle have to wear the same socks? But it was important to him, and your mind plays an incredible part of your success as an athlete.
When it's all said and done, how would you like to be remembered?
Well, Dukes, I think, said he was good, he was brave, he was ugly. I think brave is a good word, and if I haven't been anything else, I've been consistently brave. Maybe not good, but brave. And as a person, I think the best thing you can say about anybody is he's a good friend.